You're recording us?
Right now?
Yes.
This is gonna get recorded on YouTube.
Yes.
It's gonna get saved on YouTube. I could download it.
And send it?
Of course. I'm gonna send you the link right away. Don't tweet, dude. Okay, we're ready.
We start. Abraham, you ready?
We're ready.
Okay, Moshe, are you ready? Okay. Maybe let's go to the table. Let's put one big table.
Jean tweet.
It's work all day long. Okay, so story now.
Okay, we're ready? Okay. Now we're ready. My Turkish professional. We're ready? Daniel. Fast. Don't push. Okay. I want to invite a dear friend, Rabbi Farkash, the white sheep of the family. I always challenge him. A successful, a brilliant individual, very successful business person, dealing with one of the greatest companies in the world, insurance-wise, and still a world-renowned lectures around the world. They invite them almost in any place in the world to come to give lectures. He is inspiring thousands of people. Rabbi Farkash above all is a chassid. And this is his lecture, not only define a brilliant message with a lot of heart. Lev ta'or berani Elokim. And when I see Rav Dudi, I see a big heart. So hopefully the Almighty God will bless Rav Dudi for, like I said before, for every mind that was driving here, coming all the way from Monsey, to come here to give us, to inspire all of us, that his word is going to be דברים היוצאים מן הלב, נכנסים מן הלב.
Good morning, Shavua Tov. Enjoy your breakfast. Bruchim Habayim. Thank you, Rabbi Vaknin, for giving me the opportunity to share personal thoughts, words of wisdom, not mine, who are gathered throughout the sages of our generation and previous generations. I feel it's a honor and a schut to be here today. For many, many years now, I've dedicated time, those of you who know me from the Bukharian dinners, to be the only chundul in the community that is honorary member in the Bukharian Congress. Get to spend a lot of time in this community, supporting the schools, education, and whatever it takes to make this world into a better place. I'm here to inspire, but at the same time, I'm here to get inspired. There's people like you and Rabbi Asher who are inspiring me every day to understand what is the purpose and the mission in life. The name of the lecture is The Butterfly Effect. It's a very, very famous, popular American, became very, very famous in America a few years ago with the making of a movie about a blip. That was the name of the movie, about the butterfly effect. By us as Hasidim, we knew this existed for hundreds of years when the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Lubavitcher Rebbe, said, Trach gut wird sein gut, which means think good and it will be good. Tachshov tov, yeh tov. Let me start, with a milta de bdichuta, as to open up heart and minds. A mother walks into her child's room and she wakes him up in the morning and she says to him, Moshe, it's 8:30 a.m., you gotta wake up, you gotta go to school. And the child opens up one eye and he looks at the mother and he says, Ima, I don't want to wake up and I don't want to go to school. He says, Moshe, it's 8:30, you're late to school. You have to go to school. So he looks at the mother and says, give me one good reason why I should go to school. The students don't like me. The teachers don't like me. The bus drivers don't like me. The super of the building don't like me. Give me one good reason. The mother looks at him and she says, Moshe, I'll give you two reasons. One, you are 36 years old. You are the school principal. In order for us, sometimes this is what life is really. We all, those of us who work, those of us who have responsibilities, all of us have responsibilities. It doesn't matter age, or if you're married, or if you run a business, or if you're a college student, or if you're a yeshiva student. Everybody has a certain responsibility that he's obligated to fulfill. And we all have those challenges in life because nobody said it's going to be easy. It says already in Chumash Bereshit, Beze'at apecha tochal lechem, where the sweat of your brow. They say a very famous joke about Brahman, that he said how he became very wealthy. That one day, his mother gave him 10 cents, and he went and he bought an apple, and he went to school and he sold it for 20 cents, and then he went back downstairs and he bought 2 apples, and then 4 apples, and then slowly he bought out a whole orchard of apples, and he made apple juice out of it, until one day his father died and left him $10 million. So, sometimes in life, many times in life, nobody wins a lottery ticket. Life brings us challenges, and we need to know our obligation, that we need to wake up in the morning and go to work.
Which Brahman were you referring to?
What?
You mentioned Brahman. Which Brahman?
It's okay, there's a story, the guy spills the soup on the other guy. The guy wants to know what type of soup it was, and there's 2 types. What the matter? That's such a Brahman. The point what I want to get to is that we are the ones who make our own path in our life. Give you a little bit personal information about me. I'm one of 17 brothers and sisters born and raised in Jerusalem. Yeah, Bli Ayin Hara. A very, very large family. If I may say, in a bracha shruya, my sister, who is younger than me, became a grandmother last Thursday, which my parents already have created a dynasty of over 100 family members. Bli Ayin Hara. They should be well. Arichut yamim v'shanim tovot.
Amen.
Being one of 17, growing up in Jerusalem wasn't as easy as it might look. And at times when my father is a very world-renowned rabbi, Rabbi Asher will tell you, he wrote many books of halakha. He's advisor for many rabbis. Some of the top world rabbis in our days went through my father's preparation for being rabbis. My father is also mentioned in many halakha books by other rabbis. Those of you who learn, are you Sephardic? I'm sure you learned that Rabbi Yosef's books, and in his books it mentions my father also. My father is a world-renowned expert on many subjects, but at the same time, he didn't make him into a rich guy, you know. He's not a rabbi of a congregation. He's not a pulpit rabbi. He's not a rabbi of ceremonies. He's a rabbi of the Sefer. He writes the Sfarim. So we grew up in a house. We had Baruch Hashem everything, but we were very, very, very simple. We had chicken once a week. We had schnitzel on Rosh Chodesh. We got our chicken cutlet on Rosh Chodesh, and it had to be divided between all the children. One piece of chicken between many, many children. And Baruch Hashem, everybody made a name for themselves. Most of my rabbis are rabbis. Most of my brothers are rabbis all over the world. Some are in the United States, some in Australia, some are in Cyprus, all over. As the rabbi said in the beginning when he introduced me, he said, I was the white sheep of the family. White sheep of the family, you can imagine to yourself. I was number 6 between all the boys. Blonde child, big blue eyes, very hyper. Today I would probably be given Ritalin and a few other type of medications. And every teacher in every school had a lot of fun with me. When I came to America, approximately 20-something years ago, I was hired as a salesman for a very large luggage company. I used to sell Samsonite in the streets of New York City. And I walked around from store to store selling luggage, chemadans. And the funny part was I was a little heavier than now. Those of you who know me, I weighed 410 pounds until a couple of months ago. I was a big guy walking around with a big suitcase in my hand. And when people would ask me, why do I have a suitcase? I would say, I carry my lunch. But the point was that I would always come into stores and perform to my clients the quality of the luggage. Why am I sharing with you all this? Is to make you understand what it means, the butterfly effect. I got off the boat, as they say. It wasn't a boat. In the 90s, it was already a plane. I got off the plane, I came to New York. I walked into the office. Next to the office, there was a warehouse bigger than this building. A lot of luggage in there. And my manager told me, David, welcome. This is your bag. This is your streets. Sink or swim. Now, my English wasn't so good. Coming from Jerusalem, it was not bad, but thinking to myself, sink or swim, what does it mean, sink or swim? I was starting to think to myself, going over to someone and said, what is sink or swim? She says to me, it's either you're going to drown, or either you're going to swim, you're going to make it. It's either you're going to be successful, or you... So I said, since I'm a very big guy, I don't know if I'll sink so fast. One thing for sure, I'll float, but I'll try my best. I went out to the streets of New York City, and guess what? I didn't even know, when it says on the paper, 5 East 42nd Street and 5 West 43rd Street, I didn't know where it is located. My mind, being the Israeli Yerushalmi boy I was 5 East probably starts at the East River, and 3 West probably starts at the West River. So I had to figure out, how am I going to make it from East to West? After the first day of being in the city, I came home and I couldn't take off my shoes. I was in so much pain. Don't forget, I was a big guy. I arrived, it was April, the beginning of April. My wife was giving birth in Israel right after, by Shavuot time. Here I started Israel, but at that east across from each other, 5th Avenue divides the city. And for me, it was a big finding. I felt like Columbus for a moment. But the idea of coming into a store and being positive with buyers or sellers or storekeepers was the tone that set the success in life. Meaning to say, I never thought to myself, oh, I'm Israeli, my English is not so good, I'm so big, I have a lot of facial hair. Who is going to want to buy luggage from a guy like this? Look at the salesmen walking down the streets. They all wear nice suits. You go on the subway, brown shoes, fancy ties, custom made. Their hair stands. They go every Tuesday and Friday to the barber. I said to myself, Farkash, you know, you don't even have a high school degree. But the idea of being positive was the one who led me to where I am today. I had no fear. My father always told me that you ever wonder why a child, how does he learn how to talk? For the first 5 times, he says it wrong. Instead of saying Abba, instead of saying Saba, he says Baba. And like this, you teach him, and he's not embarrassed. You know, they say that one of the jokes used to be in Israel in the early 80s, when David Levy, who was the minister of the Sarah Chutz of Israel, came to America. He said, wow, you know, in America, a little child speaks English. The point is that some of us don't understand that we are those children. Lo Abba Ishan Lamad. Don't be embarrassed. Be proud of what you are, and you're going to be successful. And the most important part in success is being positive. When you are a positive person and you have a positive attitude, you are going to conquer anything and anywhere you go. You walk into a place, nothing to lose. You are a thief. If you are doing something wrong, then of course you have a lot to lose. But if you're an honest guy and you're making an honest living and you want to make the world into a better place, and at the same time you want to provide to your family, at the same time you want to succeed in business, at the same time you want to leave a good impression, and at the same time you want to do something good, then be positive. The idea of think good and it will be good wasn't an invention that the Rabbi that Tzemach Tzedek came and invented. The Rabbi Tzemach Tzedek says, life, this is what it is. If you start talking about you guys, you are a lucky bunch of guys that you're starting off the Sunday on the best tone possible. Most of Americans takes them until Tuesday to get with the program. They have the Monday syndrome, it's called. You know the Monday syndrome? Monday blues. The Monday blues, yeah. They come to work, they're depressed, they're upset, their coffee doesn't taste so good. By the time they get to Tuesday, it's already Thursday, and then Friday, and the week is over. So the whole week, but you guys are a bunch of lucky guys, Taravasho, you don't understand. We all have to thank you. I mean, I personally have to thank you. I mean, Baruch Hashem, I have my own Bet Knesset in Muncie, in my house, and right now, as we speak, there's a minyan and a shiur, everything else, but the group who are lucky, Ashrenu Matov Chelkenu, that are coming here and starting off the week, first of all, with a good breakfast, then with a beautiful tefillah that was here, and third thing, every week I saw the list of the lectures, you know, there's no better way of getting it. This is already the butterfly effect. If you start off... What?
And a positive rabbi.
And a positive rabbi.
One of a kind, one of a kind.
Rabbi Asher, listen, I can't even compete with him.
This is the place to
Every time
be.
he gives me a message, it can be something said, but it sounds like something good. He's like, Rabbi Udi, Rabbi Farkash, Manish. And I'm like getting all excited. I say, okay, what's coming? Only want to remind me about the lecture, but it sounded like we're getting married or something. And he started already yeshiva. But Baruch Hashem, the idea of being positive can turn the world upside down. Not just this. You know that by positive thinking, that's the whole idea of that movie, the whole idea of the butterfly effect. When a butterfly flaps his wings in Thailand, there's a tsunami somewhere else. Why?
Thailand.
The point is, when God forbid life brings you a challenge and you think positive. I'll give you an example. I know I'm being recorded, I might get in trouble. But many, many times we face challenges in life. And for example, when I had to get my American citizenship, yeah, I came and I walked into the embassy at that time. Since I was born and raised in Jerusalem, my papers went through, it's called the State Department. If you look at my US passport, it doesn't even say I was born in Israel. It says I was born in Jerusalem. Time of President Clinton, Jerusalem was not recognized as a part of Israel. I'm not going to get into politics, but the point is I had to go through the State Department in order to get citizenship. American embassy belongs to the United States of America. The Jerusalem embassy belongs to the State Department. It's not even an embassy. It is, for those of you who understand, it's a consul. So I was there, my interviews were done, everything was done by Arabs. So entering level, I was already 5 steps down because of a situation. First of all, why do you want to go to America? It's not like... So constantly for 6 months, I was dragged and dragged and dragged. Well, the same thing I would have done in the embassy in Tel Aviv. 3 weeks later, I would probably be in America already. But I remember every time me entering the embassy in Jerusalem, the positive thinking, the idea of Trach gut wird sein gut, always helped me. If it went through, going through customs, I remember one time I came from Panama. Yeah? I have some business, I do business in Panama. I came from Panama. It was me and my partner. We bought cigars, Cuban cigars. And it was in the time that you're not allowed to have Cuban cigars. And my partner starts getting very nervous. And then what's going to happen? They're going to take away the cigars. I said, the worst thing is going to happen. They'll take away the cigars. Problem is that I am being, since I travel a lot, that time, today everybody has, it's called Global Entry. At that time it was called CBP. CBP is a custom border, whatever it is. You have to qualify in order to be what's called a trusted traveler. So I arrived at the border. Of course, my friend was pulled over and he was stripped from the cigars and the alcohol and whatever he had. And by me, it was welcome to the United States. Why? Because the way, the positive thinking, coming in, the knowing that you're going to win, the knowing that you're going to succeed, is always the thing that leads you to success. Positive thinking, positive ideology is the one who's going to keep you healthy. God forbid, those of you who know that many medicine for the body and soul is being positive. This is the butterfly. When you being positive, your family is being positive, your neighbors are being positive, people around you, everybody wants to be close to you. Everybody wants to give you business. I'm going to give you, for example, one example that we all know. One of the biggest things that was created in this century, in the last couple of decades, one of the biggest franchise that was created around the world, not just in America, is not McDonald's, it's not Starbucks, it's not Target. It was created by one man without a book of franchise. You don't have to sign any documents. One of the members on the table over here guessed already. It's Chabad. Why Chabad? Chabad was created. We have close to 5,000 Chabad houses around the world. Think about it. 5,000 Chabad houses around the world. Place and there is no McDonald's. Yep. There are places where there's Chabad and there's no Coca-Cola. 5,000 Chabad houses. You know, there's even a Chabad house in Dubai. In Dubai, there's a Chabad. I know I'm going on camera, but quietly, there is a Chabad. There is Chabad everywhere. Who created that? As they say in English, who created that monster? You might think to yourself that a group of financiers with a group of geniuses sat around the table with laptops and computers, and they started figuring out what, where, we're going to send this one over here, we're going to have meetings, who is going to take care of the franchise. No. One man, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, no computer, no fax machine, sitting by a desk in one place, in one location, in 770 Eastern Parkway, turned the world upside down. By what? There is no book on how to be a Chabad house rabbi. If you look at all the books, not just this one, all the Chabad books, the Lubavitcher Rebbe left over 500 books. There's 11,000 hours of recording video, audio of the Rebbe speaking. Not a word on how to be a Chabad rabbi. Wow. Not a word on how Chabad house is supposed to look. You know, when you go to open up a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts or a McDonald's or whatever it is, a franchise, you get a book like this. And in that book it says where the chips are supposed to stand, what type of head, the training, how much money you have to give to the franchise, where the sign is supposed to be, every month where you have to buy the products, where you need to change, what do you have to do. Oh. In Chabad, there's not a book. You look at it, how to run a Chabad house. Let's find this.
Look at the Rabbi's picture.
Oh, good. The Rebbe, by being positive, the Rebbe, by being himself, created 5,000 Lubavitcher Rebbes. One of them is sitting right over here. I know he's a Bukhari Rabbi, I know he's Rabbi Asher Vaknin, but he is a product of the same school system that I went to. I didn't start my life at Chabad. My father didn't start his life as Chabad. Even though you tell people, Farkash, Chabad, it doesn't sound right. Farkash, Chabad, especially in the Hungarian community. But the point is, by doing the right thing, by living it for example, you are creating a world around you. You are creating a world of shlichut. You are creating a world of business. And this is my motto in my business. In my business, I run a business, my company controls $25 billion of insurance money. $25 billion. Think about it. A boy from Jerusalem, together with a few more boys who probably also didn't go through the system of financial education that they're supposed to be, controlling $25 billion of insurance. And why is that? Because of the ideology that we're doing the right thing for the people. The knowledge of being positive. When I walk into a client, it's not what I want to make for myself. What I want to do right with that client. What do I want to accomplish? Today, God became so sad, this country. You walk into a doctor, and you open up and you see the file, he's thinking what type of medicine is going to sell you. How he needs to give you. As somebody said, I was in Jerusalem 2 weeks ago, I made a Chasat Sefer Torah for my sister. I was in Jerusalem, and one of the rabbis came by and he tells my father, if 30, 40 years ago they would get rid of him in Jerusalem, there wouldn't be, tells my father, there wouldn't be Dudi and there wouldn't be the rabbi. Because the rabbi's ideology was, instead of turning off the light, for people who are special, instead of turning off the light, direct the lights. Instead of giving them pills and turning off the projectors, turn the projectors in the right direction. And this is the idea. Know your place and project to the right people and be positive, and you're going to turn the world upside down. And since I mentioned the Sefer Torah of my sister, with this I'm going to conclude. My sister passed away a year ago. She was 27 years old. She was Down syndrome. She was funny looking. She had a long tongue. She spoke funny. She looked funny. But she created an organization. She created an organization which is called Shluchot. There's over 150 girls like her who get Shabbatons, who get parties, who go away on vacation every couple of weeks, who have tutoring, who have help. She herself made this organization. She would go out of the house every day. She worked for the Israeli government, for Mossad Otzar. She worked in a school, and after work she would go and volunteer for families that have children like this. Being like that, because she knew. Me might have looked at her as somebody who is disabled and limited. She didn't see that. She was herself. She gave what she can give the maximum. Let's not look at ourselves and say, oh, I have a beard, I sound funny, I have an accent, what am I good at? No. You stay positive, believe in yourself, and you're going to conquer the world. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to